One of us, we gather here today for the inauguration of the English Literary Association. We are excited to have such a distinguished audience and look forward to a day filled with inspiration and insight. To commence this auspicious auction with the divine blessing, I invite Mr. Syed Khalid Hussain from 2nd Branch to recite the Qiraat.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون فتعالى الله الملك الحق لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم ومن يدع مع الله إلها آخر لا برهان له به فإنما حسابه عند ربه إنه لا يفلح الكافرون وقل رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. Translation. Then did you think that we created you without purpose and that you wouldn't be returned to us? Exalted is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the true King. There is no God worthy of worship except Him, the Lord of the honorable throne. Whoever invokes besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala another God for which they can have no proof, they will surely find their penalty with their Lord. Indeed, the disbelievers will never succeed. Say, O Prophet, my Lord, forgive and have mercy, for you are the best of those who show mercy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khalid Hussain, for the beautiful recitation. Now, I would like to invite Professor Syed Sarmat Ahmad, Head of the Department and Controller of Examination, to deliver the welcome address.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Taught man that which he knew not. Respected Principal Dr. M. Asrar Sharif Sahab, Vice Principal Academics Dr. T.K. Shabir Sahab, Head of Department in charge, Mr. Burhanuddin Dalvi, Vice President of English Literary Association, Dr. Hussain, Mr. Irfan, Muhammad Irfan, the Department Secretary of English Literary Association of our department, Dr. Naresh, Dr. Abdul Rahman, Dr. Shaul Hamid, Dr. Malcolm. I may fail if I not mention the name of our chief guest, Mr. Shabir Ahmed, and all my dear students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and a very good morning to all of you. Indeed, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this inauguration cum Freshers' Day program of our department. First and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. Shabir Ahmed. He was earlier with Times Now, popularly known as Times Now Shabir, and he is a very good acquaintance of me. I know him for the past 15-20 years. Above all, he is an alumnus of this college. I think he did his BCom. He did his BCom here, and students, when you are very small, some 8 years ago, when we had this deluge This when the Chennai city was completely flooded with water. It was he who rescued a lot of people, reported the news, and in fact, we worked together, so to say. He has asked us to help a few people, and we tried to reach them out also. So we worked in coordination with each other and tried to help people. I would also like to mention that New College, we had a huge relief camp here, and we tried to help all the people who are in need of food, shelter, and other things. Dear students, I would not take much of your time. In his presidential remarks, I'm sure Dr. Asrar, our vibrant principal, will touch upon two topics of Japanese concepts, that is Ichigai and Kaizen, another program here. Dear students, I'm going to talk about quickly, six things that you remember, which are there from Japanese. One is Ikigai, which the principal has umpteen number of times mentioned it. It is nothing but a reason for being, or purpose, or passion. The second one that he mentioned is Kaizen. Kaizen is small improvements every day. And the third is the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is work for 25 minutes without distraction, take a break, again work for 25 minutes. This is against this multitasking. No more multitasking, focus on one task, complete the task in 25 minutes, and then take a break and then continue the work. The fourth one is Hara Hachibu. Hara Hachibu is stop eating when you are 80% full. There are a lot of hadiths. We all know that we should not eat to our full. So this is Hara Hachibu. Soshin. The fifth one is Soshin. Soshin is nothing but to approach every task like a beginner, which means we are bound to make mistakes, commit mistakes, and then continue. Don't look for perfection. And the last one is Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi is also the same. Dear students, all the best. We are going to have a lot of programs in this academic year. Last year, Dr. Malcolm was the Vice President, and we conducted more than 20-25 programs. In a similar way, Dr. Hussain also will conduct lots of programs this semester. You all know that I am not there in the department. Professor Dalvi takes care of the entire activities of the department in a very perfect way. So kindly coordinate with them, with him, and let us try to take this department to greater heights. Everyone knows that we are good in research and all that. The strength is low today because most of our teachers have gone to their classes. We could not cancel foundation English classes. That's the reason the strength is less. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome. I now request our esteemed principal, Dr. Asrar Sharif, to kindly address the gathering.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. Your HOD and controller has made my task that more easier. He has gone beyond what the two concepts that I used to share. He has, I think, already explained about not only those two. In addition to that, 4 more. So totally 6 concepts he has mentioned, and so I will not dwell on that. Respected Vice Principal Academics, Dr. Shabir Ahmed sir, your Head of the Department and Controller of Examinations, HOD in charge, Vice President of the English Literary Association, Student Secretary, faculty members, and dear students, freshers as well as senior students. I'm really happy that English Literary Association has kick-started this activities for the academic year with this event. It also happens to be the Freshers' Day. I am much more elated to have our alumnus of the BCom General Batch 2001-2004, Mr. Shabir Ahmed, to deliver the resource talk as well as to serve as the chief guest. I am sure all of you must have seen him. He is a very popular face in the digital media, so he requires no introduction. This is what the new college is looking for. We want such eminent, distinguished alumni to come to the institution, interact with our students, okay, and you will also be definitely benefited by that. So that is one suggestion I want to mention here. Freshers as well as senior student, please interact with our chief guest. Try to know what are the various opportunities and scope you have other than academics. Okay. Of course, we have joined BA English to get a degree or to obtain a degree, and inshallah you will be successful in that. But at the same time, you must be aware that you have, in spite of all the competition, globalization, etc., you have a lot of opportunities as well as scope. You can also think about other avenues, not just going for higher studies, teaching, research and all that, but there are tremendous opportunities. Only thing is, you should be equipped, you should be having all the requisite skills. Only then you can be successful in getting selected for various opportunities that you have. I do wish all of you all the best. Now I think fortunately you are lucky that you'll be listening less of my blah blah because we have another program. So I do wish all of you freshers particularly all the very best. Have a very useful and productive 3 years, and for the seniors I wish you all the success for your future careers. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Next, I invite Professor Burhanuddin Dalvi, sir, head in charge, to give us an introduction to the English Literary Association.
Thank you, Gauss. Distinguished guests on stage, especially our chief guest for the day, Mr. Shabir Ahmed, the senior news editor for the News Minute, and principal, the vice principal, the head of the department, and other dignitaries, including Hussein, who is the vice president of the English Literary Association, and Mr. Irfan, who is the DS, department secretary, and especially the students for whom this program is meant, and all the faculty members. Very good morning. I would like to acquaint our chief guest with the concept of English Literary Association. Just a few things about this. So we started the BA English in the year 1969, and then we went on to introduce post-graduation in English in 1975. And since then we have started this concept of having an association of students, led by one staff member, which we used to call English Literary Society in the beginning. Now it has been renamed as English Literary Association for the past decade or so. The simple concept is that we want to take in the final year students and provide them a platform to train themselves in leadership qualities. That is the main purpose. So that right from first years they can involve themselves in various clubs. We have reading clubs, we have debaters club, we have speakers club. Last year we had close to a dozen clubs. So we're very active. We kept the students very active. The purpose is to inculcate some kind of leadership qualities in them, so that when they finish their studies and go out, they can be much useful to the society, or they can be useful for obtaining a career using these skills which you have obtained here. So that is the purpose, sir. And we also try to invite high profile celebrities like you, so that you will provide a motivation for them to achieve equally well. And usually we prefer the media people, so that our students are very well versed with media, and because they all the time carry a mobile in their hands, and let me say fiddle with that all the time, even while we are teaching in the classrooms. So we know how much they like this apparatus, this mobile applications. So we thought the electronic media will provide a fascination for them, and we are very glad to have you here, sir. So that you can also, yeah. As the principal suggested, we can have an interaction after he delivers, presidential address, chief guest address. You can throw questions. So train your mind to throw questions now itself, so that we can ask some relevant questions. Okay. Once again, I would like to welcome our chief guest, all other dignitaries on stage. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful introduction of the ELA. It's now time to introduce our chief guest. I request Dr. Muhammad Hussain Ahmad to introduce our chief guest.
Good morning to one and all. It is an honor to introduce a remarkable individual whose journey through education and professional experience reflects a deep commitment to journalism and media. He began his journey as a humble paper boy, delivering the news to doorsteps, and today he is a distinguished journalist, shaping the news and delivering truth to the world. His story all began with his academic journey at Miyasi Matriculation School, where he completed high school from 1996 to 2000. Then he pursued higher education at the New College, Chennai, earning a Bachelor of Commerce in the year 2001 to 2004. His passion for journalism led him to the University of Madras, where he obtained a diploma in print journalism in 2007. This solid foundation in journalism was further enriched by his participation in the Chevening South Asia program at the University of Westminster in 2019. There he studied good governance in a changing world, the media, politics and society, a course that underscores the dedication to understanding and shaping the world through media. His professional journey is equally impressive. Starting as a trainee reporter with Peak Kadir in 2004, he quickly made his mark in the industry, moving on to Win TV Tamil channel in 2005. Their role as an online reporter at Nakiran Publications from 2006 to 2008 further carved his skills in the digital landscape. In 2008, he joined Raj Television Network Limited as a reporter and later took on a similar role at NDTV. He served from 2008 to 2010. His talent and dedication led him to Headlines Today, TV Today Group as a correspondent from 2011 to 2013. His most extended and significant tenure was with Times Now, where he dedicated a decade of his career from 2013 to 2023. During this time, he rose to the position of Deputy News Editor, demonstrating leadership and expertise in the field. Currently, he is making waves as the Senior News Editor at the News Minute, a role he has excelled since March 2022. He could be called as a man of interrogation, and he faced many controversies too. He faced many trials and tribulations for bringing out the truth. Currently, he goes and represents as a journalist in print television channels. This journey through both education and professional experience highlights not just as a career, but a lifelong dedication to the pursuit of truth and excellence in journalism. Please join me in welcoming this accomplished gentleman. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful introduction. And now we take a moment to honor our chief guest. I request Dr. Asra Sharif to present a shawl to our chief guest. And also, I request Professor Syed Sarmad Ahmad, Head of the Department, Controller of the Examination, to present a memento. Thank you. And now it's time to call our chief guest, Mr. Shabir Ahmad. We are privileged to hear you from sir. The stage is yours.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என்னதான் இங்கிலீஷ் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராமா இருந்தாலும் தமிழ்ல ஆரம்பிக்கிறது தான் சரியா இருக்கும் நினைக்கிறேன். I think it was in 2001 I entered this premises not knowing anything, but just as a fresher out of school, because majority of my friends had joined the new college. My idea was to pursue journalism or probably get into this creative field. But before I go into that story, I forgot to thank Principal Dr. Asrar Sharif, the Vice Principal Dr. T.K. Shapir, and Syed Sarmad Ahmed, and head in charge of Burhanuddin, the lead professor, and Dr. Malcolm, and the teachers, professors of the English department. Thanks for inviting me, because after I left this premises in 2004, I never thought they'll invite me for any event. I never thought that they will invite me for an event or for any program, because I was the most outstanding student of this college. Not many professors know. I think even your head of department may know only little things about me, but I used to just stand outside the college all the time. Bus stand. இந்த பஸ் ஸ்டாண்ட் பக்கத்துல ஒரு டீ கடை இருக்கும் இல்லையா, அங்கதான் இருப்பேன் நான். டெய்லி வீட்டுல இருந்து கிளம்பி காலேஜ்க்கு வருவேன், அங்கதான் நின்று இருப்பேன். ப்ரொஃபசர்ஸ் வருவாங்க. In the afternoon, they'll say, why don't you go attend classes? I'll say, I'll attend classes, sir. You go, you take care of your things. Now, our job is to call all the students inside the class and ensure people don't stand outside. But there were one set of students who will never listen to our professors. I was one among them. So when I was studying here, I did my BCom. In fact, I wanted to join the visual communication department. Unfortunately, at that time, I couldn't manage to get a seat for myself in the department. I don't know why. Probably I was like trying to get myself enrolled in Loyola College, because I had written my entrance test there. So there are some 2,000 people who are writing tests. So you have to be one of the best to get seats. You have to be one of the most creative persons to get admission in Loyola College at those times, which is 20 years ago. Now I think it has become easier, or I don't know, it has become even more tough. Huh? Customer. So when I was when I got enrolled here, I was in evening college. Like I said, the whole time I would be standing outside the college, getting involved in other extracurricular activities. And in my 3 years here, I wrote my exams once in March, semester exams. All my other exams I wrote in October, which is the arrear exams. Because I was withheld every year, lack of attendance. Now if I see all these students sitting here, சொல்லியிருக்காங்களா இங்க வந்தா அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் போடுவாங்க அப்படின்னு கண்டிப்பா சொன்னாங்களா? இப்படிதான் எனக்கும் சொன்னாங்க, நீங்கெல்லாம் வந்து உட்காருங்க இதெல்லாம் கேளுங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. நான் எதுவுமே கேட்கல. So when I was like just sitting there listening to your professors talking, I was trying to recall the things that I've done in this college. I think I may have received some 7 to 8 show cause notices, which are still there with me, for engaging in student activism, for trying to organize strikes in college, for trying to participate in other college strikes, for trying to do things that at that time the professors would not agree to. நீ இந்த காலேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்டா இருந்துட்டு இதெல்லாம் பண்ணாதப்பா, நீ இங்க புடிச்சிட்டு போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் நீ என்ன வேணா பண்ணிக்கோ அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. But I was involved in all of this. And then when I actually left this college, my whole idea was to get into a call center. See, I'm not here to tell you about what exactly will happen in your life. I'm not going to give you any advice. I'm not going to give you any life lessons. There are professors who can do that for you. But I am here to share my experience. Something that I have picked up in the course of my career, in the course of shaping up my career, in the course of building up my career. I'm here to just share those things. இங்கிலீஷ்ல தான் பேசணும்னு கிடையாது, தமிழ்லயும் பேசலாம் இல்லையா? தமிழ்லயும் பேசுறேன். So when I was not allowed to write exams, I tried, I fought. அது எப்படி எனக்கு வந்து 50% attendance இருக்கு, 70% இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இப்போ எப்படி இருக்குன்னு தெரியல. பட் 75. But at that time ஒரே ஒரு எக்ஸாம் தான் வருஷத்துக்கு. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு 2 எக்ஸாம்ஸ் இருக்கு செமஸ்டர். That's what I was cross checking with your professors. ஏன் சார் இப்படி போட்டு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸை படுத்துறீங்க அப்படின்னு. பட் they say எங்களுக்கே கஷ்டமா இருக்கு, பட் இருந்தாலும் நாங்க என்ன பண்றது, இதுதான் ரூல் அப்படின்னு ஆயிருச்சு அப்படின்னு. But that's how it is. When I was like, நாங்க ஒரு எக்ஸாமே எழுதக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருந்தோம். பட் இப்ப 2 எக்ஸாம் எழுதும் போது உங்களெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது கொஞ்சம் பாவமா தான் இருக்கு. பட் இருந்தாலும் I sympathize with you. I can understand what you're going through. I can also understand that these things are important in life, but you will realize it later. So then I was not allowed to write my final year exams. So there was a big strike. எல்லாமே நடந்துச்சு. நாம என்ன பண்ணோம், அந்த ஸ்ட்ரைக் நடக்கும்போது what we did was we ensured that this strike news gets published in a paper. So we managed to speak to some reporters and we got this news published. The second day, the then principal, Mr. Avaram Abdul Hakim, and the vice principal, Abdul Khader sir, both walk up to me and they say, you are trying to engage in mischief. Why are you trying to spoil the reputation of the college? Because you are not allowed to write exams. Along with me, there are some 20-30 people who are not allowed to write exams. So we were all protesting. We never had attendance. Partly it was our fault, but we don't want to admit that it was our fault. So then we did that. And then finally what happened was, we were not allowed to write exams, but I think after completing my course, I visited this premises twice to write my arrears, and I completed my arrears in one go. Like 6 papers இருந்துச்சு, 6 papers clear பண்ணிட்டேன். இது அப்பவே பண்ணிருக்கலாமே அப்படின்னு பின்னாடி தான் யோசிக்க தோணுச்சு. But by the time when I thought இதெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னும்போது time had passed. But I think when I was here in this college taught me a lot of things. This college shaped up my career in a way about how to engage in public life, how to get involved in yourself in issues that concern the general public, issues that concern the student, issues that matter to the general public. At the time I was into a lot of activism, I was into a lot of student activism, I was like participating in other college events and all that. Then I used to go for all this panchayat also, and somebody gets caught in police, traffic la, adula, idula, ellathukkum vande I go. I was not a student representative though, because I was withheld, so I can't contest in elections. In the rule, appove kondu vantaanga. Exam withheld panna, you can't contest in elections. So I was part of this student group that we used to go to police stations and all that. We will be there in the Royapettah hospital or government general hospital. Yarkachu accident ayiro, illa help veno. In the Mari, we were into a lot of volunteering works. But I think that's something that helped me in realizing that, okay, I can, I have something to offer to the society as a student, as a human being. So let me think about what to do next. I was just sitting and thinking outside. Adum classroom la think padla, bus stand la ukanda yosichittunde. Another friend who was studying in this college, same college, he was also into student activism at that time. He walked up to me and he asked me, "What do you want to do?" I told him, "Boss, listen, I've studied in Nyasi Matriculation School and I know how to speak English. I can brush up my English. And I am planning to join I'm planning to join a call center." Because at that time, call center was a big thing. A lot of students who have studied here have joined the call center then. Those who know, who can speak English, like those who understand and who can speak English fluently, they were all enrolled in a call center. So when they were telling us about their lives and all that, I was like, okay, fine, even if I don't get a job, because I can go enroll myself in a call center, I can earn a lot of money, because that is American shift. Like you have to work in the night time and then morning you can go home and sleep. So that's how my friends used to work. And they used to tell me, "Macha, na ore varshathula vandi vaangitenda, ore varshathula credit card vandiruchira," ippudilla solluvaanga. Sollumbodhu namakku okay, nama life secure irukku, we can do something appdi solliட்டு I was thinking. And then I met this friend, and this friend asked me, "What do you want to do after completing your course?" I said, "I am not allowed to complete my course because I am not allowed to write my exams. What do I do?" "No, since you are into all the student activism, social service and all that, why don't you become a journalist?" I never had plans of becoming a journalist, because my father was a journalist. He used to work for a magazine called Samarsam. So because my father was a journalist, I used to read journals, newspapers, whatever I used to get at my home. So that's how I follow politics. That's how I learned politics. That's how, like, you look at your father doing all this and you also pick it up like that. So that was my habit of reading things and reading booklets, papers, magazines and all that. So my mother told me that you do anything, but you don't become a journalist. Because unga appa vechite enala samalika mudiyala, veetla rendu journalist vechirundha innum mudiyadhu. So don't make my life hell. Already I am going through a lot of problems. இவரு காலையில கிளம்பி போனாருன்னா நைட்டு வீட்டு 11 மணிக்கு தான் வீட்டுக்கு வராரு. இல்லைன்னா காலையில கிளம்பி போயிடுறாரு, எப்போ வருவாருன்னே தெரியும், சொல்ல முடியல. கிளம்பி போயிடுறாரு, ஏதாவது ஷூட்டுக்கு ஏதாவது அசைன்மெண்ட்டுக்குன்னு போயிடுறாரு, எப்போ திரும்பி வருவாரு அப்படின்னு தெரியாது. So that's how the life of a journalist is. It's very uncertain. You cannot predict what will happen next, and you have no control over that. It's your job. You have signed up for this, you better do it. So that's how it is. So then I told my mom that I'm thinking that I'll get into journalism. She was kind of upset because my father wanted me to become a chartered accountant. That's why I enrolled myself in BCom. But maths வராது, பிரச்சனை. என்னடா பண்றது அப்படின்னு இப்படிதான் லைஃப் இருந்துச்சு காலேஜ் படிக்கும்போது. But when I met that friend, I said, okay, come, let me give it a try. I'll come with you. I'll take you to Tikadir. Mohammad Hussain sir read my entire biodata. I don't know from where he got my CV, but he got the years and he got the organizations right. So I think he has done some good research. Some good research. Somebody called me to give me a profile. I said, I am not going to give you a profile. You do your own research and find out where I was, what I was doing, and then you introduce me to your students, the rest of your students. But thanks for that profile. It was great to, see that, okay, I've done all this. It's like myself looking at me and my career. So when I was taken to that Tikadir office in the first floor, which is in Saidapet, if you're still going there, you can see. Tikadir is a paper that is run by an organization called Communist Party of India, Marxist, CPIM. They are not like this regular paper, newspapers, Tandi, Dinamalar, Dinamani, Marilla. So they are a party paper. I wanted to learn how to report because I am from a BCom background. I have zero knowledge about journalism. I have zero idea about journalism except seeing my father and growing up, looking at my father, what he's doing. That's all. I can read, I can write. So when I went there, the first job that was offered to me was, I was talking to the manager who was there. The first job that was offered to me was, said, okay, you come here, I teach you how to report and all that. ஆனா உங்களுக்கு சம்பளம்லாம் கொடுக்க முடியாது. வேலைக்கு வந்திருக்கோம் சம்பளம் கொடுக்க முடியாது அப்படின்னா எப்படி அப்படின்னா அதான கேள்வி வரும். இல்ல இது பார்ட்டி மேகசின். You cannot become an employee here. If you have to be an employee, you have to be a party member. And for the party member, CPM pays only 1,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees or 6,000 rupees. They get allowance. They don't get salary. They just get allowance from the party. But I can't enroll you as an employee here. So what you have to do is, you can work here on commission basis. You go get ads for the paper. The paper ku neenga poi ad vaangittu vaanga. Inda or 2000 ad vaangineenga 10% commission I'll give you, which is like how much? 250. 2000 ad na 200, 2500 na 250. So I said, okay, I'll take it. I agreed. If I wanted to join some other organization, I would have got 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees. But I said, okay, let me learn something. So I'll take it. I said, okay, I'll do it. And then the next thing that he said was, where do you live? At that time, I was living in Royapettah, Janijan Khan Road. I said, I'm living in Janijan Khan Road. Oh, அங்க தான் தீக்கதிர் பேப்பரும் print ஆகுது. நக்கீரன் press இருக்கு. நக்கீரன் pressல தான் இந்த பேப்பரும் print ஆகுது. So why don't you do one thing? காலையில ஏஞ்சி ஒரு 10 பேப்பர் நீங்க அங்க இருக்கிற கடையிலயும் போட்டுறீங்களா? அங்க இருக்கிற கட்சிக்காரங்களா படிப்பாங்க. I was like, initially when he made that offer, I was a little offended. I like, what the hell, I'm a BCom graduate. முடிக்கல அப்போ, but இருந்தாலும் நம்ம BCom, இவன் என்ன நம்மள பேப்பர் போட சொல்றானே அப்படின்னு ஒரு சின்ன இது. But then I said, இது ஒரு டாஸ்கா எடுத்து பண்ணுங்களே, ஒரு சேலஞ்சா எடுத்து பண்ணுங்களே அப்படின்ற மாதிரி எல்லாம் டெம்ப்ட் பண்ணிட்டாரு. நம்மள சேலஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டாரு. I said, okay, I'll do it. So every day from then onwards, I'll wake up at 4 o'clock, I'll borrow my friend's cycle, I'll go put papers in at least 10 shops in and around Royapettah, and then I'll come back home, get ready and go to office and go collect ads. And for the first time in the history of Tikadir, I think I've got ad for 1 lakh and all. So I was earning money. And in fact, people in Tikadir never realized that Tikadir ku ad kudupanga appadinu. So I managed to crack deals, I managed to speak to people, I was getting ads, and I was earning. But my thing is, I don't want to get ads. I don't want to become a marketing person, because at one point you start earning money. If you are getting money from, all these things, then you lose interest in something else that you want to do. Then I was at it. I'm like, நீங்க காலையில ஆட் வாங்க சொன்னீங்க வாங்குனேன். பட் மதியானத்துக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன அசைன்மெண்ட்டுக்கு அனுப்பணும், எங்கேயாச்சும் ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ் கவர் பண்ண அனுப்பணும் அப்படின்னு. Then I went and I started writing small articles. I used to attend small press meets and all that. The first time when I wrote an article and I said, sir, ஒரு நியூஸ் எழுதி கொடுத்துருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு எங்க எடிட்டர் வாங்கி அப்படி பார்த்துட்டு இந்த பெண்ணை வச்சு இப்படின்னு போட்டாரு. இப்படி போட்டாரு. பக்காவா எழுதியிருக்கோம் போல, எடிட்டர் அப்படியே கிளியர் பண்ணிடுவார் போல இந்த காப்பி அப்படின்னு நினைச்சு. அப்பெல்லாம் எழுதி தான் கொடுக்கணும், டைப் பண்ணி கொடுக்கறது இல்லை. எழுதி கொடுக்கும்போது அவர் திருப்பி காப்பி கொடுத்து, தம்பி நீ எழுதியிருக்கிற தமிழ்ல ஒவ்வொரு வரியிலையும் 3 இடத்துல மிஸ்டேக் இருக்குதுப்பா, இதை வச்சுட்டு நீ ரிப்போர்ட்டர்லாம் ஆக முடியாது. Then I realized my language was weak, so I have to improve my language. So then I started reading Tamil papers. I will read Tamil papers, I'll read loud. Sattama padippa veetla ukkan Tamil papers. Because when you read papers, when you hear what you're reading thing and your hearing thing will improve. So I started reading papers, I started reading Tamil papers, news eppadi eludranga. I used to practice a lot. And then I got better at writing news articles. And then I learned how to write news articles and all that. And after 1.5 years, I wanted to explore something different. I wanted to enter into TV. So there was another colleague who was studying in this college who was in BBA department, Miran Mastan. He is my school friend. So his uncle was working in Win TV. So one day I was like applying for a job in Win TV and I'm walking out. I saw him by accident and I asked him, "What are you doing here?" He said, "My uncle works here." Then he told me, like, "What are you doing here?" No, I was working in Tikadir. I've just like come here to submit my resume and I wanted a job. I wanted to work in TV. So then he said, "Okay, I'll come. I'll take you to my uncle." And he took me to his uncle and then I got a job in Win TV. And a job in Win TV was a very small TV channel. But I got to learn so many things in a TV channel. While I was putting papers, the one thing that I learned was, I befriended all these paper boys. Because they're all my colleagues, right? Morning cycle eri, paper poduvanga. So I started befriending them. Then people who only used to buy Tikadir papers. Who are these guys? They're all automen. CITU தொழிலாள சங்கத்துல இருப்பாங்க, கவர்மெண்ட் ஊழியரா இருப்பாங்க, இந்த மாதிரி ஆட்கள்லாம். அப்போ இந்த பேப்பர் யார் போடுறா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இந்த ஏரியாக்கு அந்த பேப்பரே வராது. அப்போ இந்த பேப்பர் யார் போடுறா அப்படின்னு அவங்க தேட ஆரம்பிக்கும் போது I got a lot of friends in that circle. And those friends became my sources. Till now I get information from them. If I want to know something which is happening in the government department, those people are there in the Sangam, in government Uliyar Sangam idella irukanga. I can call them and I can ask them for information and they would give information. That's how we build relationships with whatever we get. So that's how I managed to speak to people, build relationship, improve myself, improve my language. And then I was able to produce shows in Win TV. I was doing a show called Needhi Kaga for a youngster who was just like 1.5 years experience in journalism. To hand over a big show like that has never happened in TV industry. But my producer, the earlier producer, thought that I'll do a better job and he handed over that show to me. And I was handling that show for more than a year. That was one of the most flagship shows of the channel. And why? Because he thought that I will be able to do this show because I used to keep, prodding him with questions. I used to ask him questions about in the show eppadi, in the guest eppadi fix pannringa, in the issue eppadi, and the issue eppadi appdinu. I would just ask him questions and learn, and that's how I got better at what I was doing. I was not straight from a journalism school to know the nitty-gritties of journalism. I picked up on the job. So that's how I built my career. And then what happened, from there I went to Nakiran, where I was like part of the first digital team that Nakiran had established in the year 2006 or something like that. So I was part of that team. We used to work, understand how investigative stories are done, how investigative reporting is done. So I was following everything that they were doing and I was trying to replicate it in video form. We did a couple of stories and all that, and some stories have become viral up away, which we realized only now. Apollo or 1 lakh people watching something is like very big thing. But now we realize that, okay, watching videos, 1 lakh views போறதெல்ல பெரிய விஷயம் அப்படினு. But அந்த சமயத்துல it was a big thing. But I started to look into the digital aspects of it and I learned that. And then a turning point came in my life when I was at the state secretariat. A funny incident that happened was, இங்க காலேஜ்ல ஏதோ ஒரு பிரச்சனை சத்தியம் தியேட்டர் போகும்போது, அப்போ என்ன படம் ரிலீஸ் ஆச்சுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. சம் ரஜினிகாந்த் மூவி இட் வாஸ் பாபா படம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அந்த படத்துக்கு ஏன்டா 40 டிக்கெட் கேட்டாங்கன்னு எனக்கு இன்னும் புரியல. பட் சத்யம் தியேட்டர்ல போய் நின்று அந்த படத்துக்கு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்லாம் அந்த படம் பார்க்கணும், ஒரு 40 டிக்கெட் கொடுங்க அப்படின்னோடனே அவங்க கொடுக்க மாட்டோம் அப்படின்ட்டாங்க. ஸோ தென் அது ஒரு பெரிய பிரச்சனை ஆனோடனே the cops came here and they said you are responsible for creating all this trouble அப்படின்ல, because it was predominantly an issue that was created by Viscom department students because they were very fascinated about watching that movie. I was not, but then they blamed us and all that. So I like at that time there was an inspector who was in D2 police station who was very angry with me and all that. So wherever I go he'll look at me and he'll follow me. Even after I left college I'll be roaming around in this area. So whenever he spots me, he'll call me and he'll ask me, "Enna pandra, enna enga padikira, enna vela paakra, enna pannittu irukka" appdilla kepparu. So then what happened was in 2009, 2006 or 7, I was in Raj TV. So there was a chief minister's press conference. The then chief minister Kalaignar Karunanidhi was there at that addressing that press conference. போகும்போது மைக் போட்டு அவரை நிறுத்திடுறோம். நான் வந்து முன்னாடி நின்று கேள்வி கேட்கிறேன், பயங்கரமா கேள்வி கேட்கிறேன், அவரும் பதில் சொல்றாரு. அந்த பிரஸ் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் முடிஞ்சு அந்த சீஃப் மினிஸ்டர் அவங்க செக்யூரிட்டி எல்லாம் போன உடனே அந்த பக்கத்துல இருந்து பார்த்தா அந்த இன்ஸ்பெக்டர் நேரா என்கிட்ட வராரு. டேய் நீ என்னடா முதலமைச்சர்லாம் கேள்வி கேட்கிற, என்னடா பண்ற நீ? நான் நினைச்சேன் நீ உருப்படவே மாட்டேன்னு, நீ எப்படி மீடியால போன? அவருக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஆச்சரியம், ரொம்ப ஃப்ரெண்ட்லியா பேசுவாரு அவரு. நீ எல்லாம் வந்து உருப்படவே மாட்டேன்னு நினைச்சேனடா, நீ எப்படா முதலமைச்சர்? என்னை பார்த்தோன்னே எனக்கு எப்படி ஷாக்கிங் ஆயிடுச்சுடா. என்ன பண்ற நீ, என்ன பண்ண நீ, எங்க போன, என்ன ஏது அப்படின்லாம் என்னுடைய இதை வந்து ஜேர்னியை வந்து ட்ரேஸ் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சார். தென் ஐ டோல்ட் ஹிம் தட் ஐ ஜாயின் மீடியா, எல்லாம் உங்களால தான் சார், நீங்க வந்து அடிக்கடி எங்களை தொந்தரவு பண்றீங்க அப்படின்றதுனால நாங்கெல்லாம் மீடியால போனோம்னா உங்களை கேள்வி கேட்கலாம் அப்படின்றதுக்காக தான் நாங்க போய் சேர்ந்தோம் அப்படின்னு சும்மா அவர்கிட்ட சொன்னேன். But the thing was, he was also very surprised. And then he told me that, எனக்கு வந்து நியூ காலேஜ்ல நிறைய பசங்க நிறைய விஷயங்களை பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, பட் முதலமைச்சரை கேள்வி கேட்கிற அளவுக்கு மீடியால போய் வளர்ந்துருக்காங்க அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கே ரொம்ப பெருமையா இருக்கு. நான் அந்த லிமிட்டுக்கு இன்ஸ்பெக்டரா இருந்தது எனக்கு ரொம்ப பெருமை அப்படின்லாம் வந்து he saying. Later on, he also got engaged in politics. He wanted to contest in elections. Then he called me to ask for my support. மீடியால ஏதாவது ஸ்டோரி போடு என்ன பத்தி அப்படின்னு. அதெல்லாம் போட முடியாது சார் நீங்க. சோ இந்த மாதிரிலாம் வந்து சம்பவங்கள் நடந்திருக்கு. பட் என்னன்னா உங்களுக்கு life teaches you a lot of things. But then the second chapter was, சரி நமக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் பேச தெரியும் அப்படின்றது நாம நினைச்சுக்கிறோம். That's what we think. Then I got an offer from NDTV Hindu. So at that time in 2006 நினைக்கிறேன், 2007-8 அந்த சமயத்துல the Hindu group and NDTV came together. They launched a channel called NDTV Hindu. So it was a Chennai specific channel. So they said that okay, we are looking out for reporters, why don't you come and join and all that. I got referred and I went and I thought I'll be able to work there. So I joined NDTV Hindu and to realize that I can't speak one word of English properly, one sentence of English properly. Because what happens over a period of time is, if you constantly report in Tamil, you start thinking in Tamil. If you are constantly reporting in one language, the first thing that will come to your mind is that and the language la da you will start thinking news எழுதுறது. அப்பலாம் நான் வந்து ராஜ் டிவில எல்லாம் இருக்கும்போது, நக்கீரன்ல இருக்கும்போது போன உடனே ஒரு செய்தி, சென்னை நியூ காலேஜில் இன்று இங்கிலீஷ் லிட்டரரி அசோசியேஷன் துவக்கப்பட்டுச்சு, அந்த துவக்க விழாவில் பேசிய சபீர் அஹ்மத் இவ்வாறு கூறினார், மாணவர்கள் இந்த விஷயங்களுக்காக கைத்தட்டினர் அப்படின்னு செய்தி எழுதுவோம். பட் அதே நீங்க இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா அங்க போய் கேமரா முன்னாடி நிக்கும் போதுதான், ஹே யூ கேன் ஸ்பீக் இன் இங்கிலீஷ் ரைட், யூ ஸ்பீக் அப்படின்றாங்க, யூ ரிப்போர்ட் அபவுட் சம்திங் அப்படின்னாங்க. இந்த மாக் ட்ரில்ஸ்லாம் we used to do. Then I used to get so jittery. I was like nervous. I was like literally, I used to shiver because for a lot of people English is not our mother tongue, right? We don't speak in English. பொறக்கும்போதே இங்கிலீஷ் பேசிட்டு பிறந்திருந்தா probably we would have done that. But our mother tongue is different. So then what happened, then came another crisis that I have to learn English or relearn English or re-understand how to speak in English and all that. So then I started to practice. So what I will do is, on one hand I'll read Tamil papers and on the other hand I'll read English papers. I'll take a Hindu newspaper and I'll read loudly. I'll practice every day. And if you want to do live, standing in front of a camera, or you can speak in front of 100 people, that's not a problem. People will not have that stage fear. But if you are right in front of a camera recording something, you will freeze. Because camera will intimidate you like anything. And adu வந்து இந்த டிவி கேமரால கொஞ்சம் பெருசா இருக்குமா, பின்னாடி வர கேமரா பேசு பேசு பாக்கலாம் நீ எப்படி பேசுற அப்படின்னு அதுவே ஒரு இன்டிமிடேஷனா இருக்கும் நமக்கு. அப்போ I literally had a problem. Even my colleagues had a problem. Colleagues who have studied in good English schools had a problem. Then we had to brush up our language. Then we started reading, we started listening. Then I started reading books. Then I started reading or hearing audio books. Idellam panni we practiced, and when the channel was launching, we were able to report in English. And that was one major factor that taught me one lesson about how if you want to learn something, you can learn something. You don't have to be a graduate, college student, education, whatever you learn here in college, all that will help you in life to build your career, build your profile. But your own interest is something that will take you to the positions that you want to achieve. So that is something, that is a tendency that I don't see in many of us today, many of us students. I've been to several colleges. The one thing I constantly ask these students is, do you read newspapers? Tell me how many of you read newspapers here? 1, 2, 3, 4. In a hall of at least 50, 60 people, there are 3 people who read newspapers. How many of you follow news? 1, 2, 3, 4. News la enna follow பண்ணுவீங்க? Tell me. What do you follow news? Tell me. Yeah? Politics. Okay. எங்க follow பண்ணுவீங்க? YouTubeல தான். YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Television. One person watches television. நாங்கெல்லாம் டிவி ரிப்போர்ட்டரா காட்டு கத்துவோம் போய் அங்கங்க ஒரே ஒரு ஆள் உட்கார்ந்து பார்க்கறான். But trust me, there are people who don't read newspapers. There are people who don't know what's happening around them. There are people who are not bothered about what's going on in their own circles, in their surroundings, in their society, what kind of problems that the society is facing today. So when I started reporting in English, I entered a different set of a different avenues opened up for me. When you actually start, I used to tell my friends, actually my colleagues, I used to suggest them that okay, fine, you are a very good Tamil reporter, you have a lot of good sources, you can talk to people, you can get information, you can do all that, but where have you equipped your skills, and how do you want to equip your skills? நீங்க எப்படி உங்களோட ஸ்கில் செட்டை நீங்க டெவலப் பண்ண போறீங்க, என்ன பண்ண போறீங்க அப்படின்னு நான் கேட்பேன். பாத்துக்கலாம் பாஸ், நமக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியும் அப்படின்னு அப்படி இருப்பாங்க. But the point is they don't practice. A lot of people don't practice. A lot of people don't follow news. A lot of people don't read up. A lot of people don't try to build that basic things that will take you to another level. So that is a major problem that I find in today's day and age when I interact with all these college going youngsters. That when I started my work, I was just getting 2,500 or whatever amount that I used to earn. But I never bothered about money. But when I started learning, when I got experienced, my experience now speaks. And that is a valuable addition to any organization. To have a senior person who can manage things, who knows how to report on things, who knows how to deal with issues, who knows how to deal with problems. Today, media has opened up. Like when I started working, there was TV channels, newspapers and all that. Today, media has opened up. You have different avenues. You have different, digital media platforms where you can excel. You can write for content. You can write content. You can report. You can read. You can create audio stories. You can create video stories. But one thing what you have to be very clear is that whatever you do, you be consistent. Whatever you do, please be very clear. And whatever you do, you please ensure that you do it with utmost interest. You show that interest in doing things. Because that is something that is going to help you in a long way. You still have a lot of time to build your careers and all that, or to start building your careers, but be very focused in what you want to do, and you keep doing it. Try to learn new things. And to begin with, I'll say the English Literary Association should start reading newspapers as part of their, as part of their process, whatever process. I don't know how you want to include this. Yeah, you should make it mandatory. You should ask somebody to read newspapers, because reading newspapers is one habit that is going to take you a long way. Instaல பார்க்கலாம், Facebookல பார்க்கலாம், Twitterல பார்க்கலாம், இதெல்லாம் இல்ல. படிக்கணும். அந்த படிக்கிற ஆர்வம் அப்படின்றது வந்து உங்களுக்கு அதுல இருந்தா ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும். And when you actually read, trust me, you'll be able to learn a lot of things, you'll be able to remember a lot of things, because these are all small habits that you inculcate that will help you in whatever you want to do. Even if you want to do content creation, even if you want to do videos, even if you want to do audio books, எது எழுதணும், படிக்கணும், எது பண்ணாலும் வந்து reading is the basic habit. And that's something that a lot of people lack in today's day and age, because everybody likes to scroll or swipe. People don't want to read, people don't want to listen. நாமளே ஒரு 10 நிமிஷம் வீடியோ போடனா என்னடா இவன் 10 நிமிஷம் பேசிட்டு இருக்கான், ஒரு 2 நிமிஷத்துல சொல்ற மேட்டரை 10 நிமிஷத்துல சொல்ற நீ அப்படின்லாம் கமெண்ட் போடுவாங்க. But you know how to report, that's how you have to report. So these are the things that I'll say, that this is my experience. So I wish you all the very best, and I wish the English Literary Association 2024-2025 batch all the very best, and I hope that you will be able to create wonders. You will be able to do things that you want to do. Your professors will tell you things, but do listen to them as well. But make up your own mind, be very precise. You do what you want to do, and that habit of thinking it right and going ahead and doing something will take you a long way in your journey. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring address. Now, I would like to call Mr. Irfan to proceed with badges and letters. I request Mr. Shabir Ahmad to kindly do the honor. And also to read out the names of the office bearers.
Thank you for calling me Mr. Gauss. Mr. Mohammed Gauss, the Deputy Department Secretary of English Literary Association. Mohammed Samir Basha, Sports Secretary. Discipline head. Mr. Mohammad Saad, first year representative. Mr. Kishore, discipline head. Mr. Mohammad Ikshan, second BR representative. Mr. Syed Salman, executive official, third branch representative. Mr. Arshad, editor official. Mr. Akbar Ali, club president. Mr. Inauguration Hassan, head mentor. Mr. Nayaz Ahmed, club coordinator. Mr. Al Mahdi, club coordinator.
Come on, Al-Mahdi, come fast. Give her a big hand.
Mr. Tamim Hussain, club coordinator. Mr. Syed Ahmed Suhail, club coordinator. Mr. Yabesh College, cultural secretary.
Come on, double up. Next.
For this academic year, we have planned for several club activities, around 9 clubs. So I just wanted to read the names of the clubs on this occasion. Chapter and Versus Club, which is Readers Club basically. Chamber of Writers Speakers Club. Headline Harmony Club, which is a newspaper club. Journal Journal Junction Club, which is an article review club. League of Minds Debaters Club. Detox Club, which is awareness club. Novas Club, we will have quiz competitions. Laughter House, Humor Club, and at last, Wordsmiths Society, Writers Club.
As we come to the close of this memorable event, again I would like to call Mr. Irfan, the Deputy Department Secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
First, I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Shabir Ahmed, for presenting a very casual, humorous, and a very disarming kind of presentation to you, throwing insights from his own life, which is very important to you. Sir, I would also like to state here that we, of course, distribute newspapers. We have taken the task of distributing newspapers to the first years and second year students. Final year students are also included, I think. So we are going to provide them the Hindu English newspaper for 3 months. So we have taken this. I just wanted to inform.
As we come to the close of this memorable event, I would like to call Mr. Muhammad Irfan, Department Secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning to one and all present here. It's my great pleasure and honor to extend a vote of thanks on the behalf of the Department of English on this auspicious occasion. First and foremost, I would like to express my greatest, deepest gratitude to our esteemed Chief Guest, Mr. Shabir Ahmed. He is not just a journalist, but a brave lion, as we have seen incidents that has happened with him. Like even though he got threats, he was bold, and also thanks for the humorous talk, sir. It was a great session. Next, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank to our principal, Dr. Asrar Sharif sir, and both vice principal, academics and administration, Dr. Shabir sir and Dr. Abdullah Mahbub sir, for their wavering support and guidance. We are also deeply thankful to Professor Syed Sarmad Ahmed, head of the department and controller of examinations. His contributions and dedication are greatly appreciated. I would also like to express our gratitude to Professor Burhanuddin Dalvi, head in charge. Whenever we go to sir, he doesn't ask questions, he directly calls us and he just guides us in all the events. So thanks a lot for that, sir. Additionally, our sincere gratitudes are there towards Dr. Muhammad Hussain Ahmed, the Vice President of English Literary Association. His guidance is there with us in all the events. Whenever we are doing something, he is there with us all the time. Even if it is like evening, he stays with us and does all the work. So thanks a lot for that, sir. A special thanks to all the professors who have guided us throughout this year and the previous years and have guided us in all the things and have teach us all these things. So thanks a lot for those things, sir. And special thanks to students who are here, whose presence have been shown. Thanks a lot to you all people for coming to this event. And also thanks for the office bearers and people who have worked in the back who were not recognized. Thanks a lot for you all, guys.